former President of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to extend a warm welcome to the distinguished panel for being here this evening, in this beautiful evening in Mogadishu. Let me express my appreciation to the panel for their work on the pressing security challenges in the region. We wanted to underscore the understanding, the perspective, progress, and potential of Somalia is critical to fully comprehending the security challenges of the region and the means to tackle them. Somalia has a unique perspective as we sit as the crossroad between Africa and the Middle East. We are at the strategic vantage point between the two regions within the potential to become a major diplomatic and commercial hub in the future. We are fortunate to have strong historic ties with our friends and neighbors in the Horn of Africa, across the Red Sea region and the Middle East. For us, regional cooperation is not only about one geographic region. Our strategic potential makes us a bridge between several regions. As Somalia slowly stabilizes and emerges as a capable partner in the region, I encourage you to reflect on what a stable, prosperous Somalia could bring to the region. It is in our shared interest to work toward this goal. Recent development in the Horn of Africa herald a new era in economic, political, social, cultural, and security cooperation. The tripartite agreement signed between Ethiopia, Somalia, and Eritrea will enable stronger ties and greater partnership for the benefit of the region and beyond. And Somalia looks outward from Africa throughout the Red Sea region. For centuries, we have traded ideas, culture, and religion, and more recently, we have seen increasing commercial investment and security assistance following from our neighbors across the Gulf of Aden to Somalia. But we are also vulnerable to the spillover from the drivers of fragility for many troubled areas. Our proximity to Gulf neighbors also bring shared security challenges. This includes terrorism, illicit flows of weapons, people and drugs, as well as continued interferences of external actors who have an interest in seeing Somalia as a fragmented state, and those who fear our re-emergence as a strategic actor in the region. Significant challenges remain, in particular, our fight against terrorism. Somalia is fighting a war against terrorism, which often manifested itself in brutal attacks against Somalia. But the effects of terrorism in Somalia are not confined to our borders. We have seen the deadly determination of Al-Shabaab to launch, and extremists have made use of the existing trade network and short distance across the Gulf of Aden from Yemen to Somalia. They have taken advantage of the remote area of Somalia to establish a presence, impose their ideology, and subject to population to their authority. In the last 2 years, Somalia has made significant progress in instigating far-reaching domestic reform in order to tackle terrorism, including addressing the root cause of terrorism, providing growing opportunity to our youth population, and steps to restrict terrorism groups' access to resources and weapons. We are working to rebuild our institutions of state, professionalize and develop our security forces, tackle corruption, expand the reach of the state to provide protection and services for Somali citizens, reinstall legitimate governance or good governance, and create commercial opportunities that provide alternative to terrorism. But terrorism is not only a Somali fight, it is a regional fight. Tackling terrorism, therefore, requires a regional response and regional approach to our collective security. Through our domestic reforms to rebuild an inclusive, prosperous, and outward-looking society, our strong will to tackle the security challenges facing Somalia and the region, and our commercial and economic recovery, Somalia is at the heart of response to these regional challenges. No country that tackle terrorism alone. I hope you will know now, consider Somalia as an active partner rather than a passive recipient of support. Wish the panel well with your deliberation and analysis, and look forward to further engagement with you, and I thank you.
Your Excellency, my brother President Mohammed Abdullahi Mohammed Farmaajo, and Deputy Prime Minister, Chief Justice, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. President, let me first of all say thank you very much indeed for receiving us in Somalia, this delegation of ours, and the time you've given us to interact with yourself and with the government of Somalia on a matter which all of us agree is important for not only this region, but also for the future of our continent. We are very, very glad indeed, President, that we could come, because indeed, as you have just indicated, Somalia occupies a particular place, including, as you were saying, as this bridge between here and across the Indian, the Red Sea. Yesterday, President, I said to you, I was last in Mogadishu 45 years ago, 1974. I remember that date because then we had a different Somalia. I came here then in 1974 because Somalia was hosting a summit of the OAU. The very fact that Somalia could host a summit, that we really are very much with you as you strive to overcome the problems that Somalia has been suffering from. And we're quite convinced that you are going to succeed, that Somalia will unite again around this great vision of a Somalia, that Somalia, of which the whole continent was very proud.